Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such up. He's touched on second and change.
Well, that was an exciting race one here at America's National Park of Speed at Road America. James, I mean, let's first of all get onto the battle between Anders Lilliorde and Kim Andre Bjorklund. They were literally attached at the bumpers all the way through the majority of that race. And just that one mistake from Kim Andre Bjorklund with a handful of corners to go just cost him big time, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. And I think if you look at what went on in race one, there was a lot of competitiveness. You know, race two in general is going to be a lot more different. They've obviously got that pit stop to include as well. We are just into the 4 minutes of warm up there. So we will go over to race two shortly. But I think it's going to be how they're going to deal with the pit stops. It's a long lap. That's the thing here. You know, it's well over 2 minutes. They've got to be aware that they're going to have time, and that's one of the things they've got to make sure they use and utilize properly, because otherwise it's just all going to go wrong. They've got to get their pit stops right. You know, Lilliorde did so well in race one, Bjorklund as well, and Bremer. Mellis winning the AMs with Jones and Williams behind him. So there's still the AM battle to go for. There's still some of the pros to go for. We've got that top 15 reverse as well to look forward to, which is going to make it even more interesting. So this could be a really great fire up of race two. Good evening, Phil. Welcome in. Thanks so much for joining us here as well. 3 minutes left of warm up, but this is going to be an exciting race two.
Yeah, because the person who's going to start on that top reverse 15 is the Flying Scotsman, John McHutchinson. Now, obviously, difficult first race. Of course, the funny thing is, you know, Luke, you know, we had a couple of newcomers, including Luke Maxwell. So Anders Lilliorde winning by 1.3 seconds. Ewan Bremer was closing. I mean, it was another podium for the Sim Race Sweden esports driver. I mean, Ewan's already had, that's his fourth podium this season. I mean, Anders also picked up the fastest lap of the race, but Stefan Mellis doing a handsome job just keeping Richard at bay right up until the death. It was just one of those entertaining battles that you just didn't want the timer to end. You just wanted them to go on for another 2 or 3 laps, and if that was the case, then I think Richard would have had the opportunity to get through on Stefan. But you know, the superstar DJ, who's been putting in the wheel time, and he's really upping his game. His racecraft is coming along so well. But as you rightly said, strategy. That is the big talking point. 50% maximum fuel, 45 minutes, you know, 2.25 minutes of a lap time here. Of course, the big thing is fuel economy is going to be another thing, you know, especially when you're coming out of turn number 14. You want to be in that slipstream. You want to get that side draft if you need to make that make or break overtake. But then it's also the outlap if someone's countered your pit stop. But it's a very long pit road here at Road America here, James. So that's another thing they've got to consider. Yeah, they might be on their marks for like 15, 16, 17 seconds, depending on how late they actually decide to jump down pit lane. That's going to be the crucial part tonight.
Yeah, exactly. And we say it's long, and you know, we mentioned before that straight is longer than the high street I live in. So, you know, it's very, very long. And you go in, coming out of turn 14, you go in about, I think it's like 50 or 100 yards after turn 14, you turn right, and then you're just trickling. You know, up into the pit stall, then you've got to wait, and then you've got to come out. So there's lots to consider when they get this, you know, when they go into race 2, and they've got to make sure that they are planning on coming out in clean air. I think that's one of the things. If they don't come out in clean air and they get stuck behind traffic that hasn't pitted, could cost them the race. And I think race 2 is going to spice it up a bit. It'll be interesting to see how the guys get in. I'm really keeping an eye on that pro battle, that pro and am battle, because I think the AMs are doing a great job. Stefan Mellis is fired up. Richard Jones, Rob Williams, they're all in there. And I think all in all, it could come down to the wire in the AMs. You know, we've obviously got no Sven Damelweaver this evening, so that's given Lily Orde more chance to pull points in. Kim Andre Bjorkian sitting out in front at the moment as well. Drop weeks to come. There's a whole lot to consider going into next week.
Yeah, because it is going to be drop rounds taken into consideration after this 8th round of the championship for Alton Park, which is the penultimate round of the season next week. It is going to be round 9. That is going to be without the Britain chicane. Warm-up is now completed, and then we've got the Silverstone finale on May the 29th to conclude what's been an exciting and enthralling season number 4 here in the JPB GT4 series. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell whilst you're at it. Why not give us a follow on our relevant social medias? But here is the grid for what is going to, well, that is going to be...
No, it's not, unfortunately. Hold on. See, don't know if we're going to be able to get it, but it will jiggle itself around. It should be John McHutchison sitting on that pole position spot. Anyway, there he is in the BMW.
So we are... who's that flashing their headlights in the back? That's probably Torbjorn Mealy or something like that. But it is going to be another full pace lap around this 4.048 mile 12 turn circuit, opened back in September of 1955, based in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. It is America's national park of speed. It is a definite jewel within the treasure of American sports car racing, and here with these production-based GT4 machines, it is no different. So it is going to be John McHutchison that's going to lead the field away. Stu Pearson, slow and steady racing, will be alongside on the front row. Torbjorn Mealy and Rob Williams look to be, well, it's going to be Rob Williams and Torbjorn Mealy and Rob Williams. So we are going to have a pretty stacked out grid here of, well, 24 cars, because Chris Barnes didn't make it to the grid on time. So we're going to have 24 runners and riders with a variety of different machinery. BMW will be starting on pole position with Porsche, Mercedes-Benz, Aston Martin, one lone Aston Martin, one lone McLaren. And, well, John McHutchison's got an opportunity here. I'm going to be really interested to see if Luke Maxwell can fire back a little bit, because he didn't have, well, both him and John didn't really have a good run in race 1. I mean, Luke was siphoning positions, but obviously he's moved into this for the first time. John's already got experience. We know how rapid that guy is, no matter what the hell you put him in. And we both always get disgusted quite graciously about that. Like, God, no matter what you put that Scotsman in, he is literally on point. But of course, a couple of incidents really curtailed his race. He managed to come back, finish 15th, but it's a long old pace lap, and this really gives the drivers the opportunity to steel themselves and get ready for one more race tonight, and it is the big one tonight as well.
Yeah, I think this is the thing. John had pace in race number 1. He made a mistake, spun himself out, and then obviously he had to go towards the back, joined it, you know, and kept going again, managed to battle his way into 15th. I think if John can nail this start and nail this opening section that he had done, stay ahead in front of Moraine Sweep, I think he's got a great opportunity for race 2. I really do, to take it as a latecomer into it. Luke Maxwell still in there. I wonder if he's realised he's got Taylor Swift written on his roof there as a little joke from John McHutchison. I should hope so he has by now, let's put it this way. And then you've got a few of the latecomers out the back as well. No Chris Barnes is say as he's come through now turn 8 before they go round into the long carousel of 9. But it's going to be here. It will be this front battle. Stuart Pearson, Torbjorn Mealy, Rob Williams, Richard Jones and Mellis, all up the front. And the pros have got to come through, but they've got to come through cleanly. And to be fair, the pro and am pace is not too far off each other, so it could be quite difficult for them.
Yeah, that was very evident during qualifying for the 15-minute sprint race. And qualifying is always a good gauge on how the combined feel. Now, the thing is, folks, is that we always like it when the AMs and the pros, you know, have a little bit of ta-ta-tas, a little bit of side door rubbing and everything like that in GT4s. And, you know, as this season has evolved over the past 7.5 rounds, where they've been completed as of this race here, yeah, we did have quite a lot of dramas. We still do have two drivers, Miles Owens and Alejandro Carrera, who are on 35 penalty points apiece. If one of them hits 40, it's an automatic race ban for round 1. But, you know, it's time to let these chariots go with these modern-day gladiators in the sim racing space. Just really go to town and see how things go on. I mean, John will probably do something that he normally does if he gets the opportunity. If he gets the lightning textbook start, he'll drop Stu Pearson quite quickly. You might come into the clutches of Williams and Maley very, very early doors. But here we go, folks. Race 2, Round 8, JPB GT4 Series Season 4 here at America's National Park of Speed, Road America. Over the crest they go as we are set and ready to go racing here at Elkhart Lake. 45 on the timer. We've got green. Good start by McCutchinson. Look at Luke Maxwell. He nearly went 2 wheels on the grass on the round down to turn number 1, and he's already trying to look up the inside of Rob Williams through into turn number 1. So good showing already by the team Radline driver in the number 4 car. So they're going to head through into turn number 3. Lopez Benitez has got Richard Jones to the outside. Mellis looking up the inside of Tor Anders Bourbon to try and quickly see if he can get past Richard Jones, because the Porsche in his hands has been a little bit mightier in comparison with Richard Jones in the Mercedes, but Hutchinson already getting a nearly 4.5 tenths of a second lead as they head into turn 5 for the first time. Very neat and tidy so far. Lily Olney going a little bit wider into turn 5, but that's Stefan Mellis. Oh, Mellis got a little turnaround there. Not too sure if there might have been a little bit of contact, but it's starting to Constantine a little bit. Round.
Yeah, I think he had contact there, maybe within the mix of Gordon and Hauger, that one, and unfortunately I think for them there was that little bit of contact as well, but I'm sure Stefan will start making his way back through the field. He's all the way down here as well, chasing Orvin Anderson. Torbjörn Melle still managing to hold on with Luke Maxwell. He's still battling away here, and Luke doing a great job in that BMW. I'm sure he's going to be giving him grief for as long as he can. Stu Pearson still managing to hold on to the front of the AMs at the moment. Torbjörn Melle in second in the AMs with Luke Maxwell chasing down. But Hutchinson's gone, and we did what he had. He did what we said he was going to do. If he was going to get out in front, that's exactly what he would have done. No contest from him.
Kjetil Larsen, well, looks like the IGL coatings and Sunday traffic scaller number 46 Mercedes is out early in the race, around about a quarter of a way round the lap, so probably would have been on the run down to turn number 5. Stefan Mellis finds himself in 22nd overall. So quite a few drivers to get past. Edward Parfitt has moved up 7 places in the back end of the grid, now currently 18th at the moment. John McCutchinson leads after the opening lap. Get this, 2.6 seconds. He's doing like Sebastian Vettel did in his Red Bull days. He's got out of DRSO very, very early. Yeah,
he's just pulled off. And I think that's the thing. When you put somebody like John in a car and you put him on the front row, if you don't tackle him early, he's almost like a rugby winger. If you don't grab hold of him early and put him on the deck, he's going to run away from you. And John is just doing that. You know, his inner William Wallace is coming out right about now, and he's speeding down, not wanting to repeat the mistakes of race 1. And he's done that already, and he's bolted away. Now, Gordon Gordon, this is where, look, if you look here, you've got Stu Pearson, Torbjorn Mel, Luke Maxwell, Rob Williams, David Corpus Benitez, Richard Jones, Tor Anders Burden, and Gordon Hauger all going through here. And then you've got the Kim Andre Bjorklund, the Scarrett, the Liliorde, the Bramer, the Owens that are going to look at trying to come through the field as well. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how some of these guys handle this, because they have got faster guys in front. Gordon Hauger's no slouch. Tor Anders Burden's no slouch either. Ika Lecue's just had a moment going into turn 6 there. Not sure if there was contact on that one. Torbjorn Melee looks like he's just lost that position to Luke Maxwell. Side by side with Rob Williams. Williams trying to try and sweep around the outside of the carousel. Oh, is he going to get it done? That's going to be the question.
Yeah, let's see what happens through the kink here at turn number 11. Williams goes high, wide and handsome. Melee keeps the throttle pin, but Rob Williams completely unashamed of keeping that throttle pin. This is bringing in Richard Jones, Tor Anders Burden, David Corpas Benitez. This is very close through Canada corner. And now it's Jones versus Williams. Melee's been dropped like a bad habit. Rob Williams, what a drive so far. Epic stuff, kept it pinned round the outside of Canada corner and made the job a good one. And that allowed Richard Jones to get through on Melee to also facilitate the opportunity of him going for a race win. Now, let's look at it from this perspective. Richard Jones gunning for his 9th AM class win of the season so far. And Rob Williams has had 6 podiums. Hasn't hit the top step yet.
No, he hasn't. Tor Anders Burden's going to give Richard Jones a... Oh! Steady, steady, steady. Oh, man, he squeezed him like an orange in a juicer, did Richard Jones. Burden still managed to make it through. Jones is still on our left, mind you, as well. So they're still side by side, coming through turn 3. Oh, Richard Jones! Slight little tap from the side, and unfortunately he's jumped down the order a little bit. That's released Stuart Pearson out in front in the arms. He's got Luke Maxwell closing in. Look at the gag on the cars behind. Scarrett, Bjorklund, Liliorde, Jones, all in this mix. Corpus Benitez trying to make a move as we go in there as well. He's going with Alexander Scarrett. He's going too wide round turn 5. There is a great dinger, and I think these guys are forgetting we've still got 40 minutes remaining.
Yeah, it's like an endurance race that's the feature that's turned into a sprint all of a sudden. But yeah, I mean, great composure from all these drivers at the minute. Ika Lecuey was in the pit lane for 9.4 seconds. Ivan Andersen from Western Racing Norway also went off. Kim Andre Bjorklund. Oh, Miles Owens having a big old Code Brown tank slapper right there behind Richard Jones. Oh, dearie me. They've got their elbows sharpened tonight.
Yeah, they have. Stu Pearson has got Maxwell climbing all over him like a baby monkey picking fleas off his mum, I can tell you that much. Look how close. Maxwell's going to get him down into turn 12 here, Canada corner. No real, it shouldn't be a battle from Stu. He should have let that one play out and go, and he did do. Burden and Gordon Hauger knocking boots with each other. Williams still managing to hang on. He's got quite a big gap now to Richard Jones. So I think from Williams to Jones at the moment, we're looking at probably about a good 2-3 seconds there. So Richard Jones is there, but he's not quite there enough. So Williams is doing a good job. If he can hang on to where he is up until the pit stops, I think he'll have an amazing shot.
Yeah, it's getting a bit fast and furious a little bit further back. Liliorde and Bjorklund side by side. They are well, no, it's Scarrett and Bjorklund, to be honest with you. Look, they are nearly 3 wide a little bit further back going into turn number 1. So, wow, I cannot believe what I am seeing. This race really is personifying what we were talking about before the race got started. Yeah, okay. And it is just, oh, that's a move. Richard Jones round the outside of David Corpus Benitez. That was exemplary of the number 99, the SAS Racing BMW M4 GT4. Currently running P11 overall as Miles Owens gets past briefly on David Corpus Benitez. Bjorklund trying to close in on Scarrett and has got Liliorde right up his exhaust pipes. Like a like a detailing brush from a valeter at the moment, and that just goes to show how much these drivers have evolved. 37 minutes to go. Look at McHutchinson's lead. That's ridiculous. 5.1 seconds, and we just completed 3.5 laps.
Yeah.
And now it's the Team Radline 1-2 as well, because Maxwell has gotten ahead of Pearson and is starting to slightly pull away. Rob Williams holding on to second in the AMS. He's been closed by Team Viking Thor's Tor Anders Berven. So Rob Williams has become the effective de facto Jarno Trulli of the JPB GT4 series here at Road America right now.
Yeah,
Great stuff.
Rob's managing to hang on, and to say if he can stay there up until the pit stops, he should be okay. And I think the thing is, he's just got to make sure he can stay in front of them. But he's got a tough job. Berven, Hauger, Scarrett, Bjorklund, Lily Yorde, Bramer. Would you really want them behind you going in? Hell no, I would not. Oh, we're just picking you up, and he goes on the grass. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, Rob. Oh, dearie me. That was another clean-up on aisle 3. And what has that done? That's brought Richard Jones back into the mix. And Jones has passed him. But look at this battle here. This is Gordon Hauger versus Tor Anders Berven for effectively what is going to be the person that might pick up the win in the pro class, because at the minute, Berven's ahead of Hauger now through T1. Scarrett's like a rat up a drain pipe. He's looking every which way but loose, trying to get through as they head into turn 3, and then they're going to be going down the Moraine sweep. Look at the line. The line is not it's like a peloton on the Tour de France at the minute. Like, literally, you cannot separate these drivers no matter how hard you try.
No, you can't. They're running side by side there as well. Scarrett's had a pull out. He's trying to give Gordon Hauger some pressure. Not going to be able to make it through turn 5 then onto the grass. This is going to be interesting. Corpus Benitez has just got the inside line coming up to turn 6 on Rob Williams there. Williams, a master of his own downfall, unfortunately, this evening. Edward Parfitt, he's just gone past under Alexander Caridi. Stefan Mellis, although he's all the way down in 18th, he's not that far off where he needs to be. Williams is not very far up the road here. I've got him at like a second and a half, 2 seconds at the most. So for him and to Stefan Mellis, they've got to be careful with pit stops, because Stefan's coming, and he's coming like a banshee at the moment, and he's now giving Caridi a whole heap of grief as well. So, yeah, don't be fighting too long, you Rams, because Mellis is coming back through.
He's like a bullet train. The old Shinkansen over in, an express from, from like, say, Kyoto to Tokyo at the minute. He's doing an absolutely stellar job, and is now starting to hound Alejandro Caride just in front of him. Vegard Olsen-Lee are not too far up front, in front of this lot. Neither is Torbjorn Maley, neither is Rob Williams. There is Kim-Andre Bjorklund, who's ahead of Liliorde, but behind Scarrett to the tune of about 0.8 of a second. Then we've got the Sim Race Sweden duo of Ewan Bremer and Miles Owens, who ran at the top 10. Well, John McHutchinson, no surprise here. Every single lap is purple for the number 69 from Team Radline, as now Liliorde sizing up a move into T1, bump drafting on the back bumper of Kim-Andre Bjorklund. A lot of racing respect between these two, as that is Tor Anders Berven defending from Gordon Hauger. Scarrett is really closing on in as they head through turn 2 into the right here at turn 3. There is nothing you can separate these drivers with at the moment. And as you rightly said, James, when it comes to those all crucial pit stops, probably in about maybe 10, 12, maybe 15 minutes time, when we'll see the first drivers really coming in. But look at the move here that's being teed up by Anders Liliorde into turn number 5 as Scarrett dives in up the inside of Hauger. Scarrett mistimes it, and now he compromises at Kim-Andre Bjorklund and Alex Scarrett, who gives a brief flash of the head. Anders Liliorde, he gives a brief flash of the headlights. Liliorde through on Kim-Andre Bjorklund, who's trying to thread the eye of the needle through into the very next corner, into the hurry downs, nearly making it 3 wide. And Anders Liliore's got a slowdown penalty.
Yeah.
He's dropped behind Miles Owens.
He ended up off the side of the circuit. The problem was Scarrett's move in front of him compromised his move because Scarrett then had to tighten up. Liliore was coming in with some pace there, and he was coming in quick over Bjorklund. And as soon as he went around the corner, boom, Scarrett was there. Scarrett's off the side of the circuit again. He's got to be a little bit careful here. Liliore needs to clear him and clear him quick to get this done, and he is trying as best as he physically can, but that one move from Scarrett in front of Liliore cost him, and then it was a bottleneck because Bjorklund couldn't go anywhere. Liliore didn't have the pace. Richard Jones decided he's had enough of this party and wants to get involved as well. He's got Corpus Benitez behind him. Rob Williams is behind that as well. This middle group are literally going at it, hammer on tongs, and at the moment, well, Liliore is trying to escape and get into the back of E1 Bremer, and he just can't quite get there because he's got all of this action around him. All of these guys are fighting, and it's absolutely mental. I want to pick up on the fact that Stu Pearson still leading the AMs and sitting third overall. Go on, Stu.
Well done, Stu. He's just doing his own race. He's not worrying about what's happening behind unless they close up on him significantly. I mean, Tor Anders Berven is about 1.25 seconds behind, but Stu Pearson from Slow and Steady Racing, the teammate of Richard Jones, who is second. And at the moment, it's looking like we've got a team Radline 1-2 with John McHutchinson and Luke Maxwell as David Corpus Benitez trying to battle away with David Jones. But we've got a Slow and Steady Racing 1-2 in the AMS. Well, the form book has certainly changed here at round 8.
Oh, don't tell them that. They're going to be horrendous if they take a 1-2 here. I'm never going to hear the end of it, especially with Stu working in the Discord as an admin. It's just going to be absolutely painful. So we'll have to keep an eye and see if these guys can finish where they are at the moment. It's going to be very interesting. This little packet here, and the thing is, Corpus Benitez is a pro, but he's got the pace of the AMs. He was quicker last time out. 4 tenths over Richard Jones, just about a tenth over Rob Williams. So he doesn't really, he's got the pace, but he needs to clear Richard Jones to do the pace, which would then bring Williams into it. It's like a interactive game of chess between all of these guys at the moment, and the pit stops are going to be starting within the next 10 minutes as well. So all in all, there's going to be a lot to play for. I'll be interested to see what goes on here. Can Pearson hang on to the third overall? Can Berven and Hauger get on top of him? If these guys are battling as well, because they've got Bjorklund and Bremer coming, it's not going to be easy for any of these guys at all. And Miles Owens is also on his way with Alexander Scarrett. So still all to play for. Lots going on here, and hopefully we see what happens.
Loving that camera shot. As you see the cars literally fly their way through the circuit, coming out of turn number 12 at Canada Corner into the fast left-hand kink at turn number 13. Okay, pit stop. Stu Pearson has decided after 16 minutes to dive into pit lane. Oh, this could be an interesting strategy from Stu Pearson. He's not the only one, because Rob Williams has also decided to cover him off and go into pit lane himself. Meantime, Gordon Hauger battling away with Tor Anders Berven. So Tor Anders Berven, not yet a race. Well, effectively, for those wondering, even if McHutchinson and Maxwell take the 1-2, they are not going to score points. So if Tor Anders Berven stays where he is right now, he will pick up the maximum 50 points as Oyvind Andersen in the number 52 West Racing Norway McLaren, who's all the way down in 22nd position. Eka Lekui has retired from the race just early doors after the first 3 laps. Ketil Larsen, this is going to be a race for the IGL Coatings and Standard Trafikskola Mercedes number 46 to forget might be his drop score after this round. But Tor Anders Berven keeping Gordon Hauger at bay, the gap between them just under half a second at the minute.
Yeah, I'm surprised that the 2 Porsches that we know can go longer than most others have gone in. Now, I get Rob Williams because he was in traffic behind Corpus Benitez. He couldn't really make waves going forward. Benitez had the pace on him as such. That's what's going on with Kian Palmer and Per Hufstad down here. Oh, wow.
Steady.
Yeah, there was a sudden stop there, I think, in front from Harvard Hafstad as well, and Palmer just unfortunately ran straight into the back of him. I can get the Rob Williams situation because he was in traffic, but I don't get the Stu Pearson situation because he didn't have anybody around him. Now, unless he thought that if he was going to get dragged into the Berven-Hauger battle, that might have slowed him down, so he's kind of jumped out the way beforehand. But it seems a bit strange that he went in so early. I'm quite shocked by that, really.
Yeah, I mean, the proof will be in the pudding with that one with regards to Stu Pearson. But the battle continues onward because Berven and Hauger have pulled away from Bjorklund, who's being closed in by Bremer, who's about 4/10 of a second behind. And there you see the way that the slipstream comes into play. Gordon Hauger trying to go around the outside of Tor Anders Berven at turn 1. Well, if you can get the crisscross on that, you might line yourself up nicely for turn number 3, and that's exactly what Hauger's doing right now. Through 2, into 3, Hauger dives up the inside, and that's a great move on the inside of Tor Anders Berven. A little bit of a door rub, and that's going to allow possibly Kim Andre Bjorklund as they come down the Moraine sweep underneath the cheese bridge, as I like to call it, the Sargento cheese bridge. And that is now going to be another position lost for Tor Anders Berven if he's not careful, because Ewan Bremer's towards the outside of him through into turn number 5. No. And Hauger round the outside. Bjorklund keeps it pinned on the inside. Berven keeps Bremer at bay, but for how much longer? Well, into turn 6 they go. Oh, Berven runs wide. Liliorde now joins the party and gets past his teammate at Team Vikings Thor. That's how quickly things can change.
Yeah, Berven lost about 4 places within about half a lap there. I can tell you what, that Gordon Hauger, Kim Andre Bjorklund, that must have been some teamwork there, because Hauger stayed wide and allowed Bjorklund to come hurtling through on the inside of him. And I almost thought he was going to chop the nose off Berven as well. It was very, very close to how they mastered that one. Fair play if that was any form of team orders or team almost synchronized dancing on the racetrack, because they did an absolute stellar job getting that one right. We've got Alejandro Carides down here with Edward and Vigaros and Leah and Torbjorn Mele. These guys were not very far, literally within what's that, about 4/10 of each other currently as well. So these guys having a nice little ding-dong further down in race 2. This is obviously for 15th, 14th, 13th and 12th overall. But I'm interested here, Williams, I think you've made a mistake. You're not closing in on Pearson as much as you would hope. You've only pulled out a second and a little bit since your pit stop. It's a little bit worrying that that move was done a little bit too early there, and I'm wondering whether or not he's going to regret coming in as early as he did do, as we've got Bremer and Liliorde side by side.
Yeah, Liliorde sends it up the inside through into the first corner. Also, looking at it from a championship permutation, Bjorklund and Hauger, that is going to be a big score. That is going to be 94 points. Now, they do lead the championship by a significant amount. They could wrap up the title for the pro teams next time out, next week at Alton Park. And that just goes to show that the teamwork, as I said, McHutchinson and Maxwell will not score points, so Bjorklund will effectively become that will be a 5th race win of the season. And you know, you look at the differential between him and Sven Devil, it was 57 points coming into this race. Now, Kim Andre could also be very much the case of maybe even wrapping up the pro drivers title with one evening to go.
Yeah,
it is foreseeable. Of course, we are hoping, we are praying that Mr. Dowell, please come back to us, because we want to see you give a little bit of served justice to Kim Andre Bjorklund in the final 2 rounds of the season to really close things up in the championship. But you know what? At the end of this, it could be the fact that Kim Andre Bjorklund just has to be, I think, probably 95 points ahead by the end of next week's round at Alton Park, and he's become the season 4 champion. You know, he was one of the people, including Gordon Hauger, that joined the championship in season 3 later on in the season, and we really got an understanding of, you know, these drivers could really sort of showcase their skills, and we're seeing that. I have to give a shout out to your son, Edward Parfitt. He's up 12 spots already. He's 13th, and he's just got past Vegard Olsen Leah. Great stuff.
Yeah, he just did an absolutely stellar job, but we'll have to see how he gets on, whether or not he can do it. Oh, he's in the pit lane. In the pit lane on that one. So Edwards in, Jones is in, Caridi got it all wrong.
Up the rear.
Yeah, Caridi got it all wrong coming into the pit lane there. Edward is in. Hopefully this car is okay after what looks like he got a little bit of a tap of the bum from Alejandro Caridi. We didn't really see it all, so we'll try and see after if we can have a look back on that one. But Gordon Hauger and Anders Lily Yorde now side by side. Bramer's in there. Tor Anders Bourbon. Oh. Yeah, I'd probably be. Oh no!
Three wide into turn 5. Oh, that was going to end up being a little bit messy, but Ewan Bremer just the complete opportunist on that one. And Lily Yorde and Hauger still side by side. Here comes Tor Anders Bourbon back into the mix. So he's up for a little bit of respite. Is the number 26 BMW from Team Vikings Thor. Lily Yorde again going rally crossing. Anders. Look, there's no joker lap here. It's a long enough lap anyway. You don't need to muck up your tyres in the meantime.
Yeah, he's adding grass on him. It's not going to be the most easiest thing to get rid of here as these guys continue to fight round the carousel. Gordon Hauger and Lily Orde. Oh! It was elbows, it was like handbags at dawn on the racetrack between the two of them. It was at one point, I can tell you that much. So.
Yeah, I wonder which one had Louis Vuitton and the other one had Dolce & Gabbana in their right hand, ready to swing it.
Oh, I prefer they had the dog of Radley. That would have been a little bit better.
Or the IKEA special.
Hey, don't knock the blue bag of IKEA, mate. I can tell you, I get a lot in that.
No. I'm making it topical. We've gone down from top end to lower end in one fell swoop. 20 minutes to go. And John McHutchinson and Luke Maxwell, well, you can see the leads that they have got respectively. 7.2 seconds. The gap between McHutchinson, who's about to make his way through into turn 1, and he's 7.2 seconds ahead of his teammate from Team Radline, Luke Maxwell, who then is 7.2 seconds ahead of Kim Andre Bjorklund, who rounds out the top 3 at the moment. Torbjorn Mele is leading the AM class down in 11th place ahead of Vegard Olsen Leah. Stu Pearson. Oh, now maybe the 3000 IQ strap might have worked for the SAS racing driver in the number 23 Porsche. He's only 33 seconds behind Vegard Olsen Leah. Now, looking at it from this perspective,
that's not going to help him.
What was the pit stop lap time from entry to exit, including pit stop for Stu Pearson?
I've got him at a minute. I've got him as a minute, and I got Richard Jones at 58. So Jones was 2 seconds quicker, but at the moment Richard is trying to catch Stu Pearson. Whether or not Stu can hang on for that win in the AMs, I'd be so impressed with him if he does. But he will be a nightmare if he does as well. So it's a double-edged sword for me, really. You know what I mean? Happy on one hand and an earache by the end of next week. So you know we'll play it by ear, Stu Pearson. We'll play it by ear. But he's doing a great job. You can't knock him. He's taking the most of his opportunities. He's gone in. He made that early pit stop, that undercut that worked for him. Rob Williams is now only 5 seconds back, so he's chasing it down as well. He's going to want to make sure that he can try and keep the rest of this one clean. 18 minutes to go. We've still got everybody from Vegard Olsen Leah in 12th and above have not pitted, so it'll be interesting to see where Pearson, Jones, Williams and everybody else below that who has pitted, how they come out here as well. There's Wayne Palmer. He's kind of stuck in a little bit of no man's land at the moment. He's got 5 seconds to Mellis and he's got 6 seconds to Havstad, who's coming behind him in that BMW. So yeah, tough for Palmer, but we'll see how this one pans out and see what goes on for the next 17 minutes, as I'm expecting a rush into the pit lane within the next 5 minutes maybe at the most.
Yeah, just noticed Stefan Mellis. He was actually in the pit lane for north of a minute, probably about 1 minute and 5, because his pit stop was nearly 23 seconds. So he might have decided, well, I might just add another extra litre or 2 of fuel as long as I can brim the tank. And that might actually help him in a good bit of stead, really. Corpus Benitez and Olsen Lee are now in. So that is going to be the sign for a certain Mr. Stuart Pearson, who's making his way through along with his teammates, Richard Jones. They're coming through out of turn number 13 and heading into 14 very, very shortly. So Corpus Benitez just got on his marks 5 seconds ago. So that is going to mean Pearson and Jones go second and third in AM, as Vegard Olsen Lee is still stationary in pit lane. So, yeah, 2 minutes 17.2 from Stu, 2 minutes 16.1 from Richard. They're probably, they're about 7/10 of a second apart. Rob Williams is going to come across the line, and he's going to be ahead of Vegard Olsen Lee, who's just exiting the pit lane, having been in the pit box for 20 seconds. Stu Mellis, Stefan Mellis looking at the inside of... Sorry, not Stu Mellis, Stefan Mellis. My apologies.
Mellis.
Sorry, superstar DJ on that one.
Oh, dear me.
It's been a long week. It's been a long week. But yeah, this battle here, where Gordon Hauger is the SRN Polyaclemi meets in the Team Viking Thor sandwich right now. We've got 16 minutes to go. Excuse me, top 10 have yet to pit. This is going to come down to the wire, and who's going to be spending the least time on their marks in the pit box is going to be the big deciding factor here in this second race.
Yeah, I think Williams has just cleared Corpus Benitez now. For Williams, you don't know how big I think that is. He was there with Corpus Benitez in race 1, just couldn't get past him. He's managed to do it now. He was closing the gap to Richard Jones. It got back out to 6 seconds. However, making mistakes like that is not going to help you, Mr. Williams, either, as Corpus Benitez comes running outside through the carousel. Williams tightens it up. He's got that Porsche in line. We've got a pit stop rush. You can see McHutchison, Maxwell, Bjorklund, Liliode, Hauger, Burford, Garrett, Owens and Torbjörn Melee all in the pit. So effectively, wherever this man is, he could end up taking the lead in the AMs with Rich Jones, and it'd be how much further up he can get from there. He's still got about the last 3 corners to go, but I think for Stuart Pearson, it could be a nice little jump up there to once again. McHutchison's on his way out. I'm expecting Luke Maxwell to start moving. He is. Here comes the guys on the AMs around the final lap. Where is Torbjörn Melee, where he's just got into his pit box? So Stu Pearson should take him here. Yeah,
he will do, because that's literally... As Pearson was coming out of turn number 14, Torbjörn Melee was just entering into his marks, and that is going to put him in a big disadvantage. Is that going to put him behind Rob Williams? That is the key differentiator here. Yes, it will do. So Rob Williams and Stu Pearson both having the foresight to just go, you know what, we're going to pit early, 3,000 IQ strat, and in some respects, it's actually paid off. But Pearson has got his teammate, Richard Jones, right on his case. Oh, this is going to be the case there. I think Stu's going to let Richard go. The move's going to happen here, down into T5, neat as you like. Stu's not going to fight it, and it's going to be his best result of the season so far. And what's more, Stu has had 2 podiums before, but I think this will be his best result of the season so far.
Yeah, I wanted him fighting. Come on, SAS. I wanted you to go in at it here as well to see who come out on top. It would have been amazing. Williams is still there with David Corpus Benitez. These guys are not leaving each other alone. They're so similar on pace. 215.98 for Rob, 215.7 for David behind. So these guys have really got to try and shake each other to go and start moving forward. Ewan Bramer has gone into the pits. He's not yet in his pit box. McHutchison's going to be coming around the final corner. You can see how long it is. It's just never ending and ending and ending and ending. And it's still not ending. Now it's ended for Ewan Bramer, but I got a funny feeling John McHutchison and Luke Maxwell should both overtake Ewan here.
Yeah, there's McHutchinson across the line. He's going to take the race lead back with 12.5 minutes to go. Ewan Bremer, well, will he come under fire from Kim Andre Bjorklund? He's making his way down to the end of pit lane. Where's Kim Andre Bjorklund in all of this? There he is. This is going to be tight as Bremer accelerates. He comes out in front of Bjorklund. Great move by Sim Race Sweden's Ewan Bremer, leaving it right until the last moment. 13 minutes to go. And he's gotten ahead of Kim Andre Bjorklund. Now, bearing in mind, Bremer's already had 2 wins. Miles Owens hasn't had a win yet so far this season because he's been through his own fair share of peaks and troughs. But he's currently rounding out the top 9. So even with the fact that Hauger and Bjorklund, looking at it from this perspective, you take away McHutchinson and Maxwell from the point scoring. Bjorklund, 44 points in 4th. Hauger, who would be 5th, that's 36. So still a pretty good points haul. As Rob Williams trying to see if he can get past David Corpaz Benitez. And as I mentioned, Miles Owens, he's just had his own off and hit the barriers coming out of turn number 5 all on his lonesome, it looks like.
The problem is he come out in front of these two. They're having a right little ding-dong. Williams has gone back through again. These guys are swapping places all over the place and doing a stellar job. As I said, they're so equally matched. It's really difficult for one to get any quicker than the other. I think that's the thing. If they weren't so equally matched, it would be one of them would pull away, but they are. Both of them are so equal match. It's very, very tough for them to get away from each other. Looks like Vigardos and Lear has had a moment there as well. Miles Owens now behind David Corpaz Benitez, and we've still got Bjorklund, who's got Liliorde and has got Bourbon slowly closing in on him here as well.
Yeah, we are coming down to the last 10.5 minutes of this race. This is crucial, folks. After this round, drop scores will be initiated, and then we go hell for leather at rounds 9 and 10. Next week, next Wednesday, it will be round 9 at Alton Park, minus the Britain's chicane, and then Silverstone, the home of British motorsport, the Grand Prix circuit, the 3.66 mile layout, will host the 10th and final race of this 4th season. Miles Owens closing in on David Corpaz Benitez at the minute, and hoping that he can make amends for that slight faux pas that he made coming out of turn number 5 just 1 lap ago. But the lead is expanding between John McHutchinson and Luke Maxwell to the best part of nearly 8.7 seconds. Ewan Bremer, in the meantime, is firing on all of those V-displaced 8 cylinders in that Aston Martin GT4 Vantage. He is within 3.5 seconds with 9.5 minutes to go, but the pace of the 2 Team Radline BMWs have been nothing if not exemplary tonight here in race 2.
Yeah, they've just absolutely gone out and dominated the front end. And this is the problem. When you give somebody a sniff of the win, he's going to take that whole mile off you. You know, it's the saying goes, give him an inch and it takes a mile. Well, John McHutchinson, as I said at the beginning, if you didn't get hold of him at the beginning, he was going to be gone. He was going to be gone faster than a rocket, and he has done that. Maxwell moved his way forward. He's gone as well from where he started. Started in 6th place into 2nd at the moment. So a great job from him. And the interesting thing for me would be if Maxwell and McHutchinson was here from the beginning, because they've definitely got the pace on the likes of Bremer, Bjorklund, Liliorde, Bourbon, Hauger, you know. So I would have been more and more interested to see both of these from the beginning of the season, how they got on. Obviously, they come over from the Clios on that one. But, you know, it'd be interesting to see what happens with next season. That is in discussion. There was discussion about changing it, but it is in discussion to bring it in as well, especially with the introduction of rain that's coming on the GT4s next season as well. Rain has been added to the GT4s, the MX-5s, and for the life of me, I cannot remember the other 2 classes that it's been added to. So GT4s will have rain next season. So it's going to be very, very spicy to see how this one works out. Rob is working hard on the calendar with Stu Pearson in the background, giving him a hand as well. So that will be announced soon. So keep an eye out for that one. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens next season and how rain affects these GT4s.
Well, something else that's interesting, Stu Pearson might be starting to fight back against Richard Jones in the latter stages of the race. The gap at one point was just under half a second. Rob Williams. Big off there by Rob Williams. I cannot believe it. At this late stage of the race, Rob Williams in the number 93 Triple P Racing White gets it all wrong and ends up taking the Joker lap inadvertently.
He's just the master of his own downfall. It's such a shame to sit and watch. He was right up there in the beginning, made that mistake, lost time. Owens and Corbus Benitez going side by side, and it's just a mistake and a mistake. And if he can correct that and get hold of that, he would have been so much further up, because he had got this gap down to Stu Pearson to 5 seconds. Well, it was to Richard Jones at the time, because they hadn't swapped positions at that point. He got it down to 5 seconds and pulled out time on him, and it's just such a shame that it's just that consistency. You know, he's got to try and wrap that consistency up and get that well under control, because otherwise he's just hemorrhaging points. He's like leaking points like a bad plumber fixing a tap. You know, it's just drip and a drip and a drip. The only good thing he had out of that moment there was the fact that Torbjörn Mele was 2.6 seconds back. That was it, because otherwise he would have been down another position in class, because that was for overall and not in class, which was quite lucky for Rob there. Hutchinson sits the fastest time as well, the 2:14.67. Liliorde, Bervin and Hauger and Scarrett still fighting it out.
Yeah, this is going to come down to the death, because Ewan Bremer has a comfortable lead over Kim-Andre Bjorklund, even with 5.5 minutes to go. It's 1.5 seconds. Looking at their lap times, Bremer has been slightly quicker, but on that particular occasion, Kim-Andre Bjorklund knocked out 2.5 tenths of the advantage that Bremer had. It was 1.8, it's now 1.5. This battle here is going to go raging on until the checkered flag, and this will be for third place, effectively, in the pros, which will max out at 40 points. At the moment, McHutchinson steals the fastest lap at the moment, which means that anyone that does get quicker than 2:14.671, we're on lap number 18, and McHutchinson is about halfway through the lap. So I would probably say 3 plus 1 more, maybe at a push. So we could be at that. Oh, Alex Scarrett coming out of turn 5, just had the biggest amount of snap-on oversteer and lost all that momentum to close on in on Gordon Hauger. Meantime, Miles Owens trying to fight with David Corpaz Benitez, and Rob Williams goes, hang on, guys, you're slowing me down a little bit. And now he's looking for the move up the inside through turn 6 on Miles Owens. Very close indeed, but they both give each other enough racing room and respect. But Rob Williams, yeah, like you said, the master of his own downfall, unfortunately. But he's dusted himself off, he's got back, got refocused, and got his elbows sharpened well and truly.
Yeah, it's such a shame. He can do so well, and it's just them little leaks, stick a Band-Aid on them, or do something for the races, because you're almost there. You are almost there. You can literally taste the championship, but you just keep leaking points here to Richard Jones, and you've leaked more. The only good thing is obviously Stefan Mellis is, where is Stefan at the moment as well? He's down in 5th in class, so Stefan's behind him, so he should be able to pull some points. But
oh, Miles, what have you done? He's just lost the back end on his own and hit the wall again.
Well, he's hit the wall big style. He's got no front end on that car whatsoever. Liliorde's in the points.
Drive-through penalty, I think. 15 off tracks, I've just noticed by the live timing.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, he must have done. Because he's not edging into that pit box. Oh, yeah. Anders. Such a shame. Such a shame, but it's so easily done here as well. Off tracks are plenty. Pick one up, pick another one up. Miles Owens in to get his car sorted out there. Richard Jones still got Stu Pearson behind him. I do love the fact that Vigard Olsen Leah and Per Havard Hafstad are really close together. This is a battle down for 18th and 19th. These guys continue to scrap. We're going to have probably this one and one more because it's 2:22. Yeah, so there's going to be a last lap next time around as well. So yeah, I want to see. Come on, Stu, give him a go. Have a battle with him, son.
Yeah, I mean, Stu's only been like, what is it? Last time around, well, was actually slightly faster by about 7 thousandths of a second. That's not much, but I think the thing is, there's probably been an inter-team discussion where Richard's probably said to Stu, look, if I'm catching you, what are you going to do? And I need to ask you for a race win, which will put him on 9 this season so far. Stu might just say, you know what? Look, let's get solid points for the team. And it's a joint effort in that respect. So, but there's got to be a point where Stu Pearson says to Richard, no, I won't give way. You've got to fight me for it, but I will give you the racing respect and the room that is required. However, John McHutchinson goes onto the white flag lap with 1:25 to go and 11.1 seconds, leading a 1-2 for Team Radline. Oh my goodness me, we won't hear the end of this from John McHutchinson. No. But then also Stu Pearson will be hitting your Discord DMs like the clappers, saying, yeah, we got a 1-2 as well, don't forget. Yes, we are seeing that on our screens, as we know, and James's patience might wear a little bit thin, saying like, Stu, don't rub it in. I know, we saw it, covered it, leave it alone. But Rob Williams closing in on David Corpaz Benitez for 10th overall. Of course, yes, it's not a battle in class, but Rob will be very happy if he manages to get the job done. He's looking to the outside going into T1 on Corpaz Benitez. Let's have a look and see how this one pans out, as we've got just under 30 seconds to go.
Yeah, McHutchinson's on his way up from Hurry Downs into turn 8 there. This battle's going to be looming and carrying on. Gordon Hauger and Bourbon going to be scrapping it out for this final lap as well. This is the battle for the final podium in the pros, of course. Bramer, Bjorklund and Bourbon currently hold that position. I'm sure Gordon Hauger will want to get himself in there as best as he possibly can, if he can, over this final lap. It's going to be very, very interesting to see. They're going into turn 8. They've got 9. Oh, Bourbon's just made a mistake. Oh, around the carousel. Hauger's going to take it away. Is he on the final lap? Bourbon's got to keep that BMW pegged if he can. He's got to keep his foot on the throttle. He's got to just hope it sticks. Send it and hope it sticks. And on the run down now into the kink. Bourbon's just about. No, he didn't have the inside there as well. Unfortunately.
Oh, well. Yeah, that's going to be a real shame. But it is going to be a race win in race 2 here at Road America, America's National Park of Speed. John McHutchinson, from lights out to checkered, wins for Team Radline after 20 laps of this 4.04 8-mile circuit. And what's more, Luke Maxwell brings it across the line to finish P2. It is going to be a win on the road for Ewan Bremer. 3rd win of the season. And what's more, he's just stolen the fastest lap of the race away from John McHutchinson by 28 thousandths of a second on the last lap of the race. Kim Andre Bjorklund picks up P2 in pro ahead of Gordon Hauger. Great run there for Sim Racing Norway. Polya Clemmy.
Oh, they've done. He's got past him. He got past
him.
Pearson.
I can't believe this.
Oh.
Stu Pearson wins at Am. How's about that one? Oh, my giddy aunt.
No, not going to be happy with that. You can't do that. If they swap places, I'm not going to be impressed. I'm definitely not going to be at the end of it now. Oh. And if he's taking a victory in the Ams, my ears are going to be in pain for the rest of the week here.
I can sense they're already bleeding at this point.
Yeah, we'll have a look. We'll wait for these guys to go through. We'll bring out the results and see if we can catch this one. Miles Owens is all the way down here after going into the pits. He's down in 18th place currently. Havard Hafstad is in 19th. Fair play. Do you know what? Fair play to Kettle Larson. He carried on going and he's still out in circuit. He's 10th in class, 20th overall. So fair play to him. I think that's a great effort from him to keep going on that one.
Yeah, that's the thing about the Norwegian and the Viking spirit. You know, you never give up, you know, because there's still points on the board available. And even 20th will get you, well, when you look at it, there's 3 drivers that aren't scoring points. That effectively puts him 16th, which is 25 points. And that can still help decide where he is in the championship come at the end of Silverstone. And he's going to be the last one to cross the line. Ed Parfitt, unfortunately, out with 10 laps to go. Ivan Anderson also out. Kian Palmer, Nicola Cuey, Barnsley not making it, but John McHutchinson and Luke Maxwell. Well, the latecomers add a little bit of spice to the party. The team Radline drivers make it a 1-2. McHutchinson winning after leading every single lap from that top 15 reverse grid pole by 11.4 seconds. Luke Maxwell takes second. Ewan Bremer picks up the maximum haul of 50 points plus an additional point for fastest lap of the race with a 2:14.643 on the last lap out of 20. Kim-Andre Bjorklund and Gordon Hauger. Great points for Sim Racing Norway, Polya Clemmy in the team's championship for the pros, and also helps to extend Kim-Andre Bjorklund's lead at the top of the pro driver standings. Alexander Scarrett rounds out the top 6 overall, top 4 in pro, with Tor Anders Berven completing the top 7 and top 5 in pro. And SAS Racing, 1-2 for the team. Stu Pearson, well, welcome to the winner's circle, a new race winner this season, ahead of Richard Jones, who still has the most wins this season, 8, either combined through either pro or through AM. David Corpus Benitez takes 10th, ahead of Rob Williams, Torbjorn Mele, Anders Liliore, and Stefan Mellis running at the top 14. Alejandro Caride, Wayne Palmer, Vegard Olsen, Leah, Miles Owens, Per Havard Hafstad, and Kettle Larson running out the top 20. Unfortunately, 4 drivers that didn't make it to the end: Edward Parfitt, Kian Palmer, Ivan Anderson, and Nicola Cuey, with Chris Barnes not starting the race, unfortunately. Well, now we're seeing the tail end of this. Yes, he did. Or did Richard get a slowdown? That's the question we need to ask that man next week. Really, really do. Because it can happen. Could happen. Yeah, well, that wraps up coverage of round 8 here at America's National Park of Speed, Road America. We go back to the UK for our penultimate round and also for our last round of the season next week. Next Wednesday, it's round 9, Alton Park minus the Britain's chicane. Can Kim-Andre Bjorklund get enough of a points lead to take the driver's pro title? And can Sim Racing Norway, Polya Clemmy, take the pro team's title? Also, what about SAS Racing? What's going to happen with the drivers and the team standings in AM? Well, you're going to have to join myself, Alex Goldschmidt, and James Parfitt once again next week to find out what happens live here on the JP Broadcasting Network. Thank you so much to everyone that's tuned in and watched all the action as it happens. And as I always like to say, well, race hard, race fair, and if in doubt, go flat out. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Good night for now.